On August 15th, 1977, a radio telescope detected an unprecedented narrowband signal coming from deep space. The detection, called the WOW signal, is steeped in legend and inspired so many science fiction storylines.
They closed our eyes. Our voices have been silenced. Our ears now deaf to the realms of extreme possibilities.
But the WOW signal isn't science fiction, it actually happened, and it remains the strongest piece of evidence yet that there are intelligent aliens in our galaxy trying to make contact. For nearly 40 years, astronomers have been trying to replicate the WOW signal, but to no avail. But that wasn't until recently when an astronomer came forward with an alternate theory that perhaps it wasn't chatty aliens that caused the WOW signal at all. Perhaps it was a photobombing comet. So does this mean the WOW signal's officially dead? Well, not quite. Hi there, I'm Ian and welcome to Astro Engine. Now, if like me, you've been captivated by the WOW signal your whole life, it's hard not to imagine it not being aliens. Now, as a scientist, my logic says to me that it's highly unlikely that it's an advanced alien civilization just happened to be beaming a radio signal at Earth that caused the WOW signal. But lacking any other explanation, it has to be aliens, right? Now, we're at a golden age for astronomy, and we're asking some of the biggest questions of the universe, and some of them are quite profound, including the question, are we alone? Personally, I don't believe Earth is the only planet out there with life on it. The galaxy is filled with water and other chemicals that make life as we know it possible. I hope that it's only a matter of time until we find out if there's any kind of alien life out there, be that microbial life on Mars or alien squids in Europa's oceans. But intelligent life, well, that's probably the biggest question of them all, and probably the biggest piece of evidence that's come our way was a signal that was received by Ohio State University's Big Ear radio telescope back in 1977. For 72 seconds, a burst of radio waves had been recorded on Big Ear's computer printout, and astronomer Jerry Ehman noticed a strange clump of numbers and letters. To you or me, these digits just looked like a cat walked across a computer keyboard, but to Ehman it was something much more significant. Excited, Ehman circled the digits and wrote WOW on the printout, and a legend was born. In a 1994 interview, when remembering that night, Ehman said that it was the most significant thing he and his team had ever seen. Now, dozens of follow-up observations were carried out in the same region of sky, but nothing quite like the WOW signal was found again. Ehman put it down to some random fluke. Perhaps there was a piece of space debris floating around Earth, and a radio signal from Earth bounced off of it, and that's what was received as the WOW signal. But popular opinion said that it was aliens, so aliens just kind of stuck. Now, the interesting thing about Big Ear is that it was scanning the sky for signals generating radio waves at 1420 MHz. 1420 MHz is naturally produced by neutral hydrogen throughout the cosmos, and it is an abundant source. If the cosmos is flooded with 1420 MHz signals, then why use it as a SETI target? Well, if we know it's an abundant emission in the galaxy, intelligent alien astronomers would probably know the same. So if you wanted to send a signal to another civilization across interstellar space, you'd probably want to make sure that they were at least listening in on the same frequency. And the WOW signal was a very, very strong, narrowband 1420 MHz signal, kind of exactly what you'd expect an intelligent civilization to send. But Antonio Paris of St. Petersburg College in Florida has stirred up some controversy, suggesting that perhaps it was actually a comet that passed through Big Ear's field of view, creating the WOW signal. Now, in his research, Paris was able to identify two comets, and he retraced their historical orbits around the Sun. He worked out that these two comets would be approximately in the same area of sky as where the WOW signal came from in 1977. A few months ago, Comet 266P Christensen orbited back near the same region of sky where the WOW signal was first observed in the constellation of Sagittarius. So Paris studied the comet to see if it was generating 1420 MHz emissions. And according to his research published in the Journal for the Washington Academy of Science, it did. To verify the emission, the radio telescope was slewed to either side of the comet. The emissions dropped off when the comet was out of view. He even checked other comets to see if they also generated the same emissions, and apparently they did. But not everybody is convinced of Paris's conclusions that a comet can cause something as powerful as the WOW signal. Even WOW signal discoverer Ehman isn't convinced, telling Live Science that the abruptness and the strength of the WOW signal isn't something that can be reproduced by a comet with an extended gas coma surrounding it. But Paris defends his work and intends to carry out follow-up observations to work out why comets might generate emissions at 1420 MHz. Does a comet explain what actually happened on August 15th, 1977? Well, we're just going to have to wait and see. But I suspect there's a lot of astronomers out there suddenly very interested to see whether comets can actually mimic SETI transmissions. So do you think the WOW signal was caused by a comet, or do you still think aliens did it? Or do you think there's some other explanation that astronomers haven't even thought of yet? Please let me know down in the comments, and also if you have any ideas for future videos for Astro Engine, please reach out to me on Twitter @AstroEngine. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you again next time.